In an increasingly connected and busy world, how can we as individuals and businesses cut through the noise and become visible? Hello and welcome to the Boostara Podcast. I am your host, James. On the Boostara Podcast, we speak to leaders in business and uncover the truths and insights from their amazing experiences. At Boostara, we help businesses boost growth, cut costs, and gain better business insights. If you would like to learn more about how we can help you, type the word growth into the comments below and I will be sure to reach out. Today, and we've persevered with this, we are joined by the amazing Sarah Stevens, visibility strategist. Hello, Sarah.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on.
Well, thank you for coming on and persevering, Sarah. I want to ask you firstly, where are you calling from?
I'm based in Manchester.
Brilliant. North of England. Love it. We need more northerners on the on this
Well, exactly. We tell it like it is.
Brilliant. Well, for anyone that's not familiar with yourself, Sarah, could you, and also what a visibility strategist is, could you just tell us a little bit, your professional journey and what's brought you to where you are today, Sarah?
Yeah, of course. So I'm now a visibility strategist, but I started off life in sales and marketing actually for many years in hospitality and the travel industry, and then had an opportunity to go more into the PR side of things. So what was that? Let me think. About 14 years ago, I stepped more into PR, and with my PR hat on, I've done hospitality and travel still, but then also big events, so big sporting events, big cultural events, such as the World Swimming Championships. I did all the marketing communications for that, and I've done PR for airlines like Finnair and Icelandair and Aegean Air, I've done all sorts of different things. And so the reason I'm a visibility strategist is visibility is about the full marketing mix. So if you think of being visible, it's your PR, but it's also your social media and all your marketing and your advertising and your branding and everything that falls within that visibility category. And that's what I'm an expert at. So I can sit down with a client, and quite often I do sit down with clients who say, look, can you come in and do PR for us? And when I sit down with them and I have a look at their marketing strategy, I spot gaps in the marketing strategy or areas that need adjusting and tuning a little bit before we can do the PR, because the PR is almost like the final piece in that big jigsaw. And so I like to think of your visibility as the marketing jigsaw, if you like, and the picture in the jigsaw is that end vision, that goal you're trying to get to. And most people are trying to put the pieces in the right place without ever seeing the picture on the box, so they don't know what it's supposed to look like, and they're there ramming that final PR piece in, going, oh, it's not fitting and it feels really hard, and we're really it feels like torture doing this because it doesn't, it's not quite right, and it's because they're trying to ram that blue piece into the bottom of the jigsaw where they think is the sea, but it's not, it's sky. So they've got the pieces in the wrong order, and so it's not quite going as beautifully as they thought it would. It doesn't feel easy. It feels like a chore. They feel, because they've been given bits of advice by lots of different experts who are experts in their own little bit of marketing. So they might have worked with a branding expert who's given them the insight on the branding. They might have worked with a web developer who's done the website bit. They might have worked with a social media person who's done the social media bit, and then they're working with a PR person who's done the PR bit, but they're not seeing how it all fits together. And that's what's missing, because it needs to all work as one holistically in the same place for you to get the results you need. And I've done some of that with my airlines, so with like Finnair. I did brand alignment strategy with them as well as PR. And I got to try out lots of things that I'd read in textbooks, but never actually been able to do in real life. But I did it for Finnair, and it worked a dream. Their routes and routes increased, so they went from three flights a day from Manchester via Helsinki and onwards to Asia, to daily, to double daily, and the double dailies were full. So that we couldn't even fit journalists on them to go on my press trips. I had to reroute journalists down to London to get out to the press trips, and they had 4 flights a day at one point from London, which was mainly London to Helsinki and back again traffic for Nokia. But then when Nokia, as we all know, fell on hard times, all of a sudden they had loads of availability on their London route. So then we had to make the London route work for their Asia strategy as a via hub. But because London has lots of direct flights to Asia, it was a slightly different proposition than the story from Manchester. So, but we made it work, and their London flights were rammed with people transiting to Asia. And they had to then put an extra frequency on, so their London flights went up to 5 a day. But it was looking at the big picture of how PR can leverage everything else, not as oh great, let's get some nice press coverage, all fluffy and nice. It needs to be strategic.
I'm curious, Sarah, because I think a lot of listeners, they might they might well have used a marketing agency before. They've worked with marketing companies to help them, or they've worked with PR to help them. They've worked, as you said, all those different kind of jigsaw puzzles individually with those kinds of companies. At what point would you say a business should think about working with someone like yourself to get that bigger picture? Is there a size kind of issue to it, or should any company really be looking at the bigger picture and how it all fits?
I think it's quite crucial at the earliest stages of business, to be honest. So I actually now work with entrepreneurs as well, and people who are setting up businesses. So I do VIP be seen days, whereby I sit down with someone, and in one day we map out their entire strategy, the entire marketing and visibility strategy in one day. Key messaging, target clients, methodology, the right rooms, spaces and places they need to be in, the connections they need to make, the branding if necessary. So I sat down with someone who had a business idea but hadn't put anything else in place. She had a product and a business idea, and that was it. And we sat down in one day. We got a business name, the brand colours, we got the brand messaging sorted, we got the entire strategy done and dusted. She knows exactly what she's got, the blueprint that she now needs to go and implement. So I can do that, and I can sit down with people and spend the day looking at their existing business. If they're an SME that's been in business for a few years, I can sit down and do that. We've worked recently with an SME business. It's a family-owned business, and we've gone in and basically brought them up to date. So we've done a slight brand overhaul, redone the websites, social media, trained up the staff, so in LinkedIn, and so we can bring a new lease of life in. We can tweak things, because obviously the world as we know it today changes a lot quicker than it has done previously, and it's really important for businesses to stay up to date. But I can go in and look at something and go, oh, actually, do you know what? We need to tweak that bit. We need to do that. We need to get that in place. There's no point doing PR if you've not got a sales strategy in place to deal with all the new inquiries that are going to come in. Or there's no point doing PR if when they click through to your website, it doesn't look right.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's all got to work together. So and I have a membership as well, so people can, if they're trying to do it themselves, for themselves, they can pick my brains, they can run things past me, they can stay accountable, they can access all my trainings that teach them exactly how I do what I do. And yeah, so I'm trying to be as accessible as possible, because I think it's really crucial. As early as you can do this within a business, the better, because then you're on the right track. Someone was saying it's like saying, oh, it's okay, as long as you're going in the right direction, even if you're not 0.5% out in your angles. Well, if you think of if you're a boat going across the ocean and you're 0.5% out on your angle, you're going to, after a certain amount of time, you're going to be way off course.
That's a very interesting analogy, and I guess from your perspective, has what businesses need to do to get onto that right trajectory, has that changed over time? Has the trends in the strategies and the things that they need to implement, has that changed, or has it remained the same despite technological advances and changes?
Well, obviously now we've got the opportunity to embrace technology, but I think quite a lot of people are making the mistake of just putting all their efforts into tech and actually forgetting that at the end of the day, we're buying and selling to human beings. And the more human we can be about things, the better the results we will get. So like customer service and things. So it's quite often it's cyclical, the way business operates. So everyone was embracing tech and let's have a bot dealing with customer service and everything else. But if you look at the luxury end of the market, and they're bringing back in more personal touch, and more one-on-one, and the human coming back, and that is something that we'll see. So there's a reason why the high-end brands still do things in person, because it's that feel of luxury and service that is really hard to replicate with the bot. And so it depends what area of business you're in. It's not done Amazon any harm. And the big boys like that. So it very much depends on who you are, what your business is, and who is the target customer that you're trying to reach out to. If it's a low margin product, you just want to sell as many as you possibly can, then obviously digital is brilliant and online's brilliant. But if it's very high end, if you're selling Bentleys, well, it's really important that that's personal service is there.
It's not a one size fits all.
No, it's not.
Yeah, and across industries, across the ticket size. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, the misconceptions that customers, clients have when they first start working with you. What do those look like? Are there sort of grand expectations from the first meeting that there's going to be these immediate changes? What do those misconceptions look like?
No, I think the majority of clients that work with me understand that visibility isn't a flash in the pan thing. So like I'll speak to people about, when I speak to people about PR, it's brilliant. You've got this one piece in all the national newspapers for a week, but you need to keep that consistency going, because one hit isn't gonna make a successful business. You need to have that consistency, and that's really, really important. And most people, to be honest, who now come to work with me, in fact, seek me out, they understand that they need that consistency. And that's one of the things I help them with, because quite often they've been and invested in an expert in one area of visibility, and they promised them the earth, and they've had one like flash in the pan bit of success, but then that's not been consistent. So and so you get this like roller coaster, and so that's where I come in and can help them with that consistency, which is why I set up my membership, because I was working with clients and doing a day session, giving them all the plans and what they need to do, and then they were like, and they had my courses that taught them how to do it, and then they were like, there you go, off you go, do it, and then they were like, oh, we've got a question about this, oh, I'm a bit scared about that, and so then I set up my membership. So now once a week we have an accountability call, so they can jump on and ask me questions. I can say, well, look, we all share the 3 things we're going to do in the next week for our visibility, and what things did you do last week, and how have you got on with it, blah blah blah. And people need, SMEs especially, because quite often they might be solopreneurs, or they might have very small teams that are all maxed out doing different things, and as a business owner they've got no one that's keeping them accountable. And visibility is something that you can very easily slip. You can shove it to one side. So you think, oh, I need to go to that I'm signed up for that networking event, but do you know what? Oh, we're just having such a busy day in the office. Oh, I can't be bothered going. I'll just stay here and get on with this project. But actually, that's really good for your visibility, because you might, if it's a room filled with your ideal client, you might meet a potential client. It's good to build and re-establish relationships with people that you've seen before. All of these things, it's very easy to just push visibility to one side because you're busy. But that's why you need to do it, because you want to be consistently busy, not this feast and famine.
Yeah, exactly. So you're spinning many plates. Which plate is the easiest one to exactly. Put down? But actually, that one's the most important to keep on spinning, right? And fast. Yeah. I mean, speaking of smaller clients, we spoke about this on a previous call. I'm someone who's seen your work. Unbeknown to me, when I lived in China, I saw the Finnair advertisements. I became aware of the the routing between Asia and the UK. So I've seen that from what you've done with the bigger clients. But could you elaborate a little bit on the kind of transformation you see from smaller clients? Is there particularly one smaller client you can tell us about that's seen a great transformation?
Quite a lot of my smaller ones tend to have transformations in terms of their own personal blocks. So the smaller entrepreneur clients, sometimes it's more than they're just too busy to be visible. Sometimes there's something that's stopping them from being visible. Maybe they're hiding, they're a bit scared of being visible, maybe they have some kind of block to doing it. And I'm very good at helping them to get over that and just do it anyway. So I help them with that mental block quite often, that then can really help them. I also work with a lot of clients who are overwhelmed. So quite a lot of the SME businesses I work with have sometimes a variety of different types of service or product that they offer to clients, and so then they feel a bit overwhelmed. Well, which one do I talk about, because I've got so many different options and I don't know how to introduce myself at events or talk about it on stages because there's too many things. So because they're overwhelmed, they just go into a freeze situation and they don't do anything.
Yeah.
And so sometimes that's the case. And so then I sit down with them and we map out which one they need to focus on. So usually, which one earns the biggest profit margin, number one. And sometimes there's several. So sometimes that doesn't do it. And then my other question is, which one lights you up? Which one gets you excited to deliver? Which one sets your soul on fire? Which one, are you excited to talk about? And then they usually will go, oh, that one. I'm like, right, okay, well, that's the one you lead with then. Because if you can get excited and passionate about something, that's brilliant energy. And that's almost infectious. So if you're on stage talking about something that lights you up and gets you excited, the other people can feel it from you. And it's more authentic and all of that. So then they're more likely to want to work with you and do business with you, rather than you then trying to talk about all the different options. Just focus in on the one. And also it might be that particular audience you're speaking in front of are more aligned to a particular product as well. So it's also looking at that. So there might be different places and spaces where you talk about one thing and somewhere else you talk about something else. So so those are the smaller businesses I tend to work with. But then in terms of visibility campaigns, if you want an example of that, I quite often get brought on board to work with clients because I'm quite creative with some of the ideas. And one of my clients pre-COVID was a venue in Manchester called the Printworks, which is a big leisure destination venue with bars, nightclubs, restaurants, a cinema, a gym. So like multi-destination kind of building purpose. And they wanted for sustainability to put some beehives on the roof. So they could have their own honey to raise money for a local charity, Forever Manchester, because the cathedral that's next door also has its own honey and beehives. So the cathedral had offered to help manage another set of beehives on the next building over. But they wanted to make a big song and dance about it and to get some visibility around what they were doing. So how can we do that, Sarah? How can some beehives on the roof get loads of great visibility and publicity? So we got Bez from the Happy Mondays involved, who's a big bee fanatic, an ecologist, apparently has a big small holding kind of farm where he grows loads of wildflowers and vegetables and has bees. So he loves bees. So we're like, brilliant, we'll get Bez on the Happy Mondays. So there was a picture of Bez from the Happy Mondays shaking his maracas in front of a beehive on the roof that went everywhere. But I got them in Guardian.
Wow.
They were mentioned on radio, BBC Radio 6, Enemy magazine, places that a venue in Manchester probably would never be mentioned. But it went everywhere. It was on. We had TV crews coming down to film him because it was just such a bonkers thing that it went viral. And we won multiple awards for that because it was just like, well, Bez's bees. What more is there to love about that? Do you know what I mean? So that's the thing. Once you've got the idea for a client and what they need to be visible for and what that message is and all of that, then it's bringing the creative in to make it happen so that media pick up on it and want to run with it. And he was in keeping with the brand because the brand was fun and all about entertainment and lifestyle, and because it had bars and restaurants and cinemas and things like that in it. So that was really fitting and a brilliant pairing for them as a brand. Because yes, it's sustainable and everything, but they didn't want to be kind of in more seen as more boring and corporate sustainable. They want it to be more fun but sustainable. So that's where we paired that up. But it's just being creative with things. So like Finnair did Angry Birds partnership, because Angry Birds was designed by a Finnish company.
Right.
So they did an Angry Birds tournament on board one of the flights to Singapore. Because why wouldn't you, you know? So there's loads of like expert pairings. So for Finnair, I did quite a lot of corporate brand partnerships for similar reasons, but to make a different audience more aware of them. So because Finnair wanted to sell business class seats to Asia, because they're the highest profit in an airline, so we needed to sell them and make businesses that dealt with Asia aware of the route and that they were the best way to fly. So I was like, well, how do we do that? Because people initially, when I first started working with them, I worked with them for 7 years. When I first started working with them, their sales team would go out and speak to people and they'd say, oh, are you a hair restoration company, Finnair? Or are you selling air conditioning? Like, seriously. So there was almost no recognition of the brand at all. So then we got the people were starting to get to know it as the Finnish airline, but how do we make that synonymous with Asia? And the way we did that was brand alignment. So I aligned them with brands that were already synonymous with Asia. So that then people would go, oh, how come you're here then? Yeah, how come you're collaborating with HSBC? Oh, well, because we are the fast airline to Asia. And the more they saw Finnair, the brand, alongside brands that were synonymous with Asia, the more they saw them as an airline to Asia.
Very interesting.
But you can do that for smaller businesses as well. So with my SMEs and entrepreneurs, I'll say to them, well, look, you know, if you want to be seen as the expert on a particular subject, brilliant. Who else is a similar expert, not necessarily in your subject, but in a subject that's aligned with your subject? So if you're a nutritionist, for example, who's one of the top personal trainers? So can we get you on the same panel as them? Because then their personal brand rubs off on your personal brand, and you are seen as an expert in the room as they are. And that's how it can work for personal brands as well. It's exactly the same, just rather than an airline and a bank, it's personal brands or smaller business brands next to other business brands.
Very, very interesting. You've got my head thinking for myself now as well. So alignment can really work. And so I was chatting to someone the other day and I said, well, look, you know, also if you're they were someone that sells into corporates, and I said, well, look, if you are trying to sell into a particular corporate and the person that makes that decision, you know they're going to be sat on an expert panel at some point, and you could also be sat on the same expert panel as them talking about your expert subject, but it might cost you a fee. It's worth doing, because then your client sees you as being the equal expert to themselves. So psychologically you're seen as much of an expert as they are. So actually that will get you in the door faster than anything else. And I've also done that with airlines as well when they've been after a big corporate client. I've got them to co-sponsor something that corporate's sponsoring, because then the senior team will be at that event and then they can meet as both sponsoring it, and it's a different playing field than you just an attendee meeting one of the big sponsors. You're seen as level. Very, very, very interesting. I'm curious, Sarah, from your perspective, because you did touch upon it previously on, the power of human connection, especially for higher ticket or products. What do you see as the impact AI having on exactly this kind of question on visibility on marketing? Is it having a good impact, a negative impact? What are you seeing from your perspective?
Yeah, well, I think there's a danger that everyone starts to sound exactly the same online, and that everyone sounds like each other. And I think some people are using AI and they're copying and pasting from AI straight into their social media or straight onto the emails or whatever without editing it. And I think it's really important. AI is a brilliant tool, but it's really important that you still re-edit it so that it sounds like you. Because otherwise you'll start losing who you sound like. And AI is brilliant for looking at ideas, or if you're like me and you have a million ideas a day, it's very good for looking through all of my ideas and going, actually, do you know what, I think that one would work best and that one would work best, and giving me some feedback is brilliant for doing that. Or looking at, for saying, why don't you combine those two together and suggesting different things. It's very good for that. It's very good at analysing a lot of data, although you do need to double check that you are correct. One of my clients actually is an amazing AI trainer. She is just phenomenal. She isn't from a tech background. So she said after having sat in training sessions for AI and tech and fallen asleep, she said she promised she is one of her missions that no one will ever fall asleep in any of her trainings. She's brilliant. You must have her on, actually. She'll be brilliant for you. But she actually designed a chat GPT that to help people who are dyslexic or ADHD and have trouble reading and remembering the information that they've read. And so there's a technique that can really help people to understand it. And I'm sure I wrote it down in my notepad, so I'll tell you. Yeah, it's bionic reading. Can really help you. And bionic reading is when the first two words of a sentence are in bold.
Right.
And if they're bold then that technique can really help people who struggle with reading, just having them bolded out. Right. And she developed ChatGPT, so you can copy and paste and put text in, and it will just automatically do that, so then it's easy to read. So there's a lot of advancements with that where AI can really help. With people who have learning difficulties. I've got a friend that does the speaks into a ChatGPT and gets it to write it out for her, because again she's dyslexic, so to do it herself would take forever. So it's far easier just to speak into it and get it to write it for her. So it does have, a place, I think, to make things more equitable and everything else. But I just think that people need to not rely on it for everything. Because I was chatting to someone the other day who said it's almost like when we all got calculators at school. Now you'll remember, like I will, because we're of that generation, when we were banned from using calculators in class because it'll rot your brain, you won't be able to work out sums, and now so many of us can't do our sums, so we have to use a calculator, whether that's on our phone or whatever, to do calculations, because we almost don't need to know how to do it now, because we've got calculators to do it for us. And someone was saying their fear is that AI will stop people from being able to write for themselves and be able to create things, and that's a real shame, not to be able to string a sentence together or write something, and because like text messages and things like that have almost causing younger people not to be able to be fearful of having phone conversations and real life interaction. And there's corporates that are paying for trainers to come in to teach young people how to interact with other people, and how to go to networking events, and how to deal with people face to face, and how to have conversations on the telephone. Because all they've done is send text messages or WeChat or Snapchat or whatever, and so that's a fear as well. I guess that, but then as technology advances, there's going to be benefits and negatives to it as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And just touching back on what you said, about voice, I think that's really interesting. Is what you said about visibility in terms of your logo, your colours, your voice is also the words that you use, right? So there is that danger that if you are just reliant on AI to be your voice, then your voice just mixes in with everything else that's out there, and it isn't distinguishable, right? I guess interesting question for you is where do you see the role or the place of AI in terms of strategy? Because what you've said there is a lot of the sort of the speeding up of tasks or replacing of tasks. Where do you see its place in strategy, and especially like strategy and visibility?
Yeah, I think in terms of strategy, again, AI only knows the blueprints, I guess. And I know, there's loads of books out there on strategy and all of that, and loads of different courses you can do that teaches cookie cutter methods. And the way that I look at things there's nothing cookie cutter about it. So every single client of mine, if you lined them all up, you wouldn't see necessarily a massive similarity in the strategy, because I align the strategy with who they are and what their business is. Because if it's not aligned with them, it's not going to work the same. So you'll see loads of people out there, coaches that teach a formulaic strategy or a course that is very formulaic. Do this and do this and do this and do this. Yeah, brilliant. If that suits your personality, then brilliant. You'll probably do really, really well.
Yeah.
If you're someone who is following it because they told you need to follow it, but actually you wake up in the morning and you'd rather stick pins in your own eyes than actually do that TikTok video just because that person's told you to. If that is the case, then you're not going to be that enthusiastic about doing it. You're going to dread doing it. The energy's not going to be there. You're not going to be excited to talk about it. Just like I said, when you're deciding which of your many products or services to do, the one that sets your soul on fire is what you should do. So it's really important that the strategy works alongside the person and who they are. And AI just can't do that at the moment. It can't read emotions and pick up, because I'll chat to someone and they'll go, oh yeah, I could just tell me what I need to do and I'll do it. And if I talk about, for instance, you could potentially go live on social media, and they'll go, oh, right. But I can feel the energy shift. that's not, even though they're smiling at me and nodding, I can tell that that's not sitting well with them. And therefore, actually, do you know what? Why don't we just have you writing guest blogs for this? This will get you there as well. Brilliant. Because there's more than one way to get someone somewhere. So the way that I work with clients is, you'll have heard sales coaches, when they speak to people and everything, they go, well, you need to have your end goal in mind, because otherwise it's like getting in your car and putting anywhere in your sat nav and it doesn't know where to take you.
Yeah.
Well, I work a step before that with clients. It's like when you're going on Google Maps to try and figure out where you're going, and you put your destination in, and then Google Maps says, how are you going to get there? Are you going to drive? Are you going to get the train? Are you going to walk?
Right.
And then do you want the sustainable route? Do you want to stop off anywhere? Do you want the scenic route?
Yeah.
Do you want to go the fastest route? All of these are factors. And it depends what suits that person and their business. So if that person goes, do you know what, Sarah, I just need to get results as fast as I possibly can. I'll do whatever's needed. If you want me to stand up on that stage, I'll stand up on the stage. I'll do lives on TikTok. Whatever is needed, I'm there for it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'll go, right, okay, you want to go the fastest way there. We'll shove you on the motorway. A million miles an hour. You can get there. We'll get you there. But it might be someone who goes, you know what? Eventually I want to be standing on stages, but I'm not ready for that yet.
Yeah.
Can we go a bit slower? Can we build up to that? And can we put something in place to do that? And all of these things need to be considerations rather than it just being a cookie cutter model, because that doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah, everyone is unique. Every business is unique. Every stage that they're at is unique. Is different,
and
in terms of how they're going to come to you, right?
Yeah, and the ideal clients are unique as well. So they've all got their unique challenges. And there might be a certain time of year that's busier than other times of year. So these are all factors.
Yeah, amazing. Sarah, I'm going to ask you a question that I tend to ask everyone that comes on. See if I catch you off guard or not. But
oh right, oh god.
So taking off your strategist, your visibility strategist hat, put on your own sort of business hat. Your own day-to-day operations, your own sort of business building. If AI could do something within your own day-to-day work and take it off your plate, whatever that might be, and you haven't done it yet, what would that be? What would that look like?
Oh. I don't know, to be honest. But to be fair, I wouldn't. Because I quite like having people in my business, to be honest, rather than AI. Yes, it's great to use AI as a sense checker to brainstorm ideas and things like that. But I don't think I would use it for anything else in my business. Although the only other thing, I guess, that might be fun, that's the latest AI capability that's coming out, which is a bit scary, but also could be useful, is I hate myself on video. I really do. And when people go, oh, well, you did that live and it was recorded, it was brilliant, why don't you edit that? No, because then I have to watch it again. And I hate watching myself on video with a passion. So the latest version of AI, they're creating video avatars of yourself that could do live video and stuff. And I'm like, amazing, because I could just tell myself what to say and I could get the AI to do it. Not me. Genius. That I think that would be the one one thing that would be brilliant, because then the AI could show up online and not me. As long as I tell it what to say. So it still sounds authentically me.
It's a scripted kind of delivery that you're giving on the screen. Then and like a live Q&A or anything like that.
No.
This is
but
go through.
So then I could just get, and then it wouldn't happen, which is what I tend to do when I'm trying to remember things.
Exactly right. It's well, I mean, that's even with this, what we're using now. I've played around with different tools, and like through the duration of this call, I'm looking across at you, not at my camera, which is there, and there is something I can do where it will correct my eye contact. It will get me looking make my eyes look like they're looking at the camera, but it looks really Halloween creepy.
Yeah,
I've got bags under my eyes.
Because you're not blinking either. Probably.
Yeah. So it's just like, the way that it looks up. I've tried it once. No. I'll take that off. Natural is a little bit better.
Yeah, I thought you were about to say, well, tell you what, Sarah, this software tool means that I am actually an AI avatar.
Yeah, and it is scary. You know, we had Jason King on last week, and he was saying how someone had booked a call with him, and they had put on a bot to be on the call with him. So whoever had booked the call didn't show up in person; they just put their avatar bot on, and he knew straight away it was extremely beautiful woman, but he picked up on the cues on that this was a bot, and he just said he said A B C D E F G, and he didn't know what to do. But for him, what was telling was the disrespect that someone would.
Yeah, you can't bother to turn up.
Wouldn't bother to turn up. But also, this wasn't like say what you're proposing there. It's it's scripted valuable delivery, right? That's very different to
having a meeting,
a connection that you're supposed to be having, and then just creating an avatar to try to draw that person's attention in and to think, that I think that those things will call themselves out over time, and it's exactly what you said at the beginning there, that human connection, especially the higher the ticket, the value of the service, the product, that will remain very, very important. Other things can be replaced by AI to make us more efficient, to clean up areas, or I think there is a function with what we're using at the moment. I can turn us both into like animated dogs or cats, rather than have our own faces on, right? Things like that, that are for preferences or for fun, right? Or more seriously for efficiency, right? But that human connection sits strongest of all, right? Going forward, Sarah, because you mentioned the different types of clients that you're working with, and you have your group that you've started.
Yeah.
What sort of plans do you have over the coming sort of 6 months, 1 year?
Yeah, so that's the Global Visibility Club that I have, which gives various different tiered assistance. So the highest level of that is like a hybrid offer. So you get partly me doing things for you on the PR front, but also the access to the wider club and support and VIP be seen days to map out your strategy and keep you on track. So it's ideal for those people who aren't quite at the place where they can just employ an agency to do everything for them. Want to do some of it themselves, want to learn how to do some of it themselves, but also need an extra boost because maybe they're launching something big, they've got big ambitious growth plans, so they need more of a hybrid model. So me working in partnership with them to become more visible, to get what they want, because there's no point being the best at what you do if no one knows what you do, who you are, and how you can help them. So I help them to be seen so they get more leads into the business so they can then make more money. So I'm looking to grow that membership more because I want to be able to help even more people. And the lowest level of the membership, you get all the group sessions, all of my courses I've ever done, monthly deep dives, accountability, and all of that as well. So it's really, really good community. Everyone's dead supportive of each other as well. So
and you can be based anywhere to...
Yeah, anywhere. That's why it's called the Global Visibility. Can't speak now. Global Visibility Club, because I've got members from all over the world as part of it. There's someone in the States, someone in Ireland. So yes, from all over. And the sessions are timed to suit global timelines as well.
Amazing.
And it's all recorded. So
Brilliant.
So it's really good. So I'm looking to grow and develop that.
Yes.
And anyone listening to this, I'll also give you a link that you can share, if that's okay, so that you can have access to my Be Seen webinar for free, which is a just over half an hour webinar that teaches you my Be Seen method, which shows you how you can do your own PR and how you can be more visible. And it does it step by step.
Yeah.
It's just a taster of my bigger course. But I'd love to share that with the people listening here.
Amazing. I will put that link below. But I mean, if anyone wants to reach out to you directly, Sarah, what's the best contact detail to get?
Yeah, I'm on I'm on all the quite a lot of the channels, but not TikTok. Surprise. So I'm on LinkedIn, Sarah Stevens 7 on LinkedIn, because someone else got there first. Some supermodel in Australia. who knows who she is. Sarah Stevens 7 on LinkedIn. Sarah Stevens PR on Instagram. And I'm also on Facebook as well. So look me up on whichever platform suits you. But if you sign up to the webinar, then I'll send you my links anyway. I've also got a free Facebook community for those people who just want hints and tips and tricks.
Amazing. I will put all of those contact details below, and I encourage everyone to definitely join those communities. Take a look at your remote online offering, no matter where you are in the world. And something I didn't realise before joining this call, which now I've learned, is that I thought that your services were only really available to large companies, massive corporations, but they're not. They're available to the medium sized companies as well. So I really encourage everyone to check what you do out, because it's such huge potential impact that your expertise can have on a company, small to large. And I guess, Sarah, just to kind of review over this call, a few sort of key standouts for me. And I'd say for me, because you learn something every day. Every day's a school day, right? So when it comes to visibility, it's encapsulating marketing, it's encapsulating PR, it's encapsulating a lot of aspects of your business. It's almost taking that helicopter view and putting that jigsaw puzzle together. Looking at visibility, you're not just looking at marketing, you're not just looking at PR on its own. When we look at visibility, as we've just said, it's something that should be analysed, should be thought of from a small solopreneur, small business, medium-sized business, as well as the large business, right? And thirdly, really, what you said about collaboration, right? A really great way to help yourself become more visible is it's a great way of putting it, to kind of rub off of other similar align, that's it, alignment strategy, as a way to really boost your growth and your expertise. And finally, when it comes to AI, I think we've said this on other calls and you've reiterated the same kind of thing, is about that human connection that can't be replaced, and that has to remain true, and probably will remain true if you want to grow. If you really want to see growth, you need to keep that within your company. You can't be reliant on AI to do everything within your business operations. But it has been an absolutely amazing conversation, Sarah. Some amazing insights. Thank you so much for joining today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Brilliant. And thank you everyone for listening. Please do like and share this video so we can get this out to as many people as possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you.